for the Citizens Party DCP affirm that a national budget must be a plan for prosperity, a blueprint for opportunity, and a statement that gives priority to the people and not a cake for a few elites. We strongly hold that a people-centered budget must give priority to affordable food, access to education, affordable health care, affordable farm inputs, support small and medium enterprises, and support household savings and expand opportunities for our young people. Additionally, it must fully adhere to the Constitution of Kenya, and in particular Articles 220 and 221 on public participation. This budget does none of this. In fact, it does the exact opposite by violating the Constitution and, in fact, waging a terrifying economic war. The budget estimates before us at Kenya shillings 4.82 trillion is completely out of touch with Wanjiku. The projected revenue is about Kenya shillings 3.67 trillion, leaving a deficit of Kenya shillings 1.144 trillion. We have a clueless regime led by an elite cabal that continues to vomit on our feet and display their ill-gotten wealth. They are presenting to us, the people of Kenya, a budget with an intention to borrow Kenya shillings 3.13 billion per day. This, in simple terms, translates to an average borrowing spree of Kenya shillings 125 million per hour. This is the money you see roofing State House, traveling overseas in luxurious jets, being dished at State House to bribe voters, and in EUDA campaign lorries, while the balances are blown in helicopters, in needless flights and charters. What if this money was channeled to our schools, hospitals, and road infrastructure to achieve a multiplier effect in the economy? Reports have shown that this government steals Kenya shillings 3 billion per day. Ironically, the same government borrows 3.14 billion per day. Why borrow to steal? Why can't you even steal less if at all you have to? What a regime. But first, we pose a fundamental question and state an undeniable fact. Over the last 4 years, the Ruto regime has taxed and illegally levied hardworking Kenyans a whopping 8.7 trillion Kenya shillings. Further, they have borrowed a whole 4.2 trillion Kenya shillings. Please show us the corresponding development projects. Where is the impact on Wanjiku? Fellow Kenyans, further, our country is trapped in a dangerous borrowing cycle. The Grand Coalition government under the late President Mwai Kibaki, the greatest president of our time, borrowed Kenya shillings 1.3 trillion in 10 years. The Jubilee government under President Uhuru Kenyatta borrowed 6.7 trillion in 10 years. This regime, a one-man show, has borrowed 4.2 trillion in 3 years. Today, as we speak, our public debt stands at 13 trillion Kenya shillings. The debt to GDP ratio is at 72.4%, which is far beyond the legal ceiling set by the Public Finance Management Act 2023.